What's up, everybody? Griever here, and today we are going to be working on a very special project for my friend Cam at APOC. He sent me a bunch of stuff. One, things that I did get from him, but also two kind of video projects, so to speak. One was the Crimson Long Shot with the Remedy Metal Kit, which I believe is going to go before this video does. But this is the second project, and this is kind of a bit of a payment in way of getting some of the items that I did get. But what we are going to be working on is this vintage Lazerfang, which Cam has a idea of what he's going to be doing with in way of a project and such. But what I'm going to be doing to this is I'm actually going to be painting this up. And if you've already seen the description of the video, because why else would you have clicked on this thing? We're going to be doing this up in a Warhammer 40K theme, and we're going to be doing this up as a Tyranid. And when I first saw the Lazerfang, it just kind of came to me. I'm like, the damn thing has this weird mouth piece which you actually pull forward in order to actually fire. So it has an alien xenomorph feel to it, and the Tyranids are kind of an offshoot of the xenomorphs and all that stuff. This does not have the wings on it. It was not sent to me with wings. As far as I know, Cam has no plans on using the wings on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this up in a Tyranid theme for this blaster so that when he does the internal works on it, he's just going to have a really awesome blaster for this. So let's go over to the workbench. We're going to open this up and actually see how this thing works. But we're also going to go over the potential colors I'm going to be using for this. And it's a lot. So let's go take a look at, let's go over to the workbench now. All right, so here we are at the workbench. You can see the array of colors that I'm already looking at. But yes, closer look at the Lazerfang in and of itself. So this was originally part of the Max Force 2112 line, woo, which is kind of where I get part of my namesake from. The Lazerfang was a single shot pistol. You pull this forward to prime it, and then when you fire it, the mouth retracts back in, firing the dart. It's a weird reverse direct plunger system, which we'll take a look at it once we open this thing up. But you have a battery door. I think it's the battery doors down here. You have something up here. I don't think this is the battery door, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll figure it out later. But as you can see, despite like the monochromatic words sometimes, they don't work with me. But you can see here, like the body in and of itself has a lot of detail on it. Like you have like the shiny smooth parts, but then you have like that leathery texture for like the body and the segmentation, not to mention like the head and like all that yellow, not yellow, the orange underneath it, which looks honestly really cool. So like you can kind of see where, and also it has like the little talon down here, so you can kind of see where I was going with my idea for like a Tyranid make on this. So speaking of that, these are the array of nonsense that I'm going to attempt to probably utilize for this. For a base coat, I have not decided yet on if I'm going to do the normal charcoal gray vinyl dye, or if I may just try, even though this is a gloss, a white vinyl dye. This way it'd be easier and a little brighter on the colors, whereas the gray base will make everything a little darker, and it may take more coats to like put things on. The overall base coat of it, once I pick out like the primer, is going to be this Wimbledon white, which is a Ford automotive paint. It's got a nice like off-white to it, which most of the base of the Tyranids usually do have in regards to those. And then as far as once that's all done, painting this monstrosity up, I'm going to be utilizing some Wraithbone, and as long as it didn't No, it looks like it's still good. This Ionorak skin and a little bit of Wraith bone. For the prime, for like kind of like the plates, which I'm figuring is going to be like kind of the ridge up here, and maybe this crest as well. Again, have not fully decided yet, but I have like a plethora of things for that. I have a couple of different purples. You can just read the names because you know some of these are a little ridiculous. Arlene has left her airbrush here for me for a while to utilize and practice with. I've done one test run with it, so that will be interesting if I decide to use that. But I do have a purple airbrush paint, so I may utilize that or try and like thin it down maybe. A couple of different pinks, Emperor's Children and Fulgrim. I don't know why I brought out the Rhinox base. I think that was by accident. Of course, Abaddon Black, in case I need it. I also do have the Iron Warrior paint, which I may try and mix with either the Cantor Blue or potentially my Caliban Green in order to get a nice metallic green, because besides just straight Tyranids, there's a channel that I do follow called Dead by Daylight. Or no, I'm sorry, Blinded by Daylight. Dead by Daylight's a game. Blinded by Daylight is the channel. And he was actually the inspiration for me to do my Warhammer figures. And he's done amazing work. Definitely shout out to him if you're interested in figure customization or even just coming up with painting techniques or whatever. I really do recommend going to check out his channel. But he did a Tyranid build as well. And that color scheme also kind of got me interested in thinking, ooh, maybe I could try a couple of things from that and all. So I also do have this one test door, so I don't know how well it's going to mesh with all of these, but this is a blue metal flake. So it's kind of already got that blue metallic that I would be looking for if I decide to go that route. But yeah, these are the paints that I'm going to be potentially utilizing. Not all of them, but there might be. And I had out this one, the Striking Scorpion Green, just because I didn't know if I wanted to add drool or anything to it. So yeah, painting this up is definitely going to be interesting because, again, making sure, one, because this is old plastic, that the orange takes to the paints, the smooth plastic takes the paints. My only other big concern is this up front here, because this isn't hard plastic. This is actually kind of like a rubber PVC, and you can tell it's old because it has that tack to it. So I'm definitely going to have to clean that off. I don't know if I'm going to have to actually just kind of seal that with like, I may actually have to seal that with like a plastic dip or something like that, just to make sure that things adhere to it correctly. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun build. It's going to be an interesting build, and we will be back in a moment to actually take a look at the internals of this thing. All right, so here's the Lazerfang. I have already unscrewed all of the screws to begin with, and now we have the internals of it. And so again, this one is a little on the older side. I already cracked it open to make sure nothing went flying out anywhere or anything like that. Thankfully, there really isn't too much to the internals of this. We have the big plunger tube here, the plunger itself, your catch, the spring sprung out but is like right there, which is fine. And then you do have the electronics on it, because yes, this does have a bit of electronics in it. The idea behind it was the eyes, and also it did have a flashlight that would light up when you pull the trigger. Now, I did talk to Cam. He wants it completely reassembled when I sent it back to him, so that's not a problem. And this isn't too much of, there's not too much to this, so I shouldn't have a problem getting it back to him. So yeah, like here's the old plunger and everything here. You have your catch, spring rest, and all that stuff. So yeah, there shouldn't be a problem at all to get it back to him reassembled. I also did find out what all that rattling was, and apparently there's a little bit of broken stuff right there. No idea where it came from, but maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I won't. Be a surprise. But yeah, that's the internals of the Lazerfang. So I'm going to get this stripped out, get it set away in a bin so I don't lose anything. And then I'll figure out if I want to do the white or the gray. I think I'm honestly leaning towards the gray, just because the gray never fails me. Maybe I'll hit it with the gray and then I'll hit it with the white. Who knows? This is just, right now I'm just spitballing ideas because I don't really work with old stuff like this very often. So it's going to be fun. Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll see you momentarily. Well, I'll see you in a moment with progress on this. And I promise I will try and do progress. Promise. So catch you in a few. Okay, so things are actually moving pretty quick, and I'm very happy with this because this means I can start doing like hand painting either starting maybe tonight, or I may just let things 1000% off gas and just wait until tomorrow, because I mean today is just perfect enough for everything to work. So for the extended piece, because this honest to God was one of my most feared parts, thankfully the vinyl dye worked beautifully because basically this is what it's made for. It took really nice. It's holding very well. I'm not feeling, I haven't done the scratch test yet, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little afraid to. But yeah, you can see here, I'm bending the tooth and nothing is flaking. Oh, sorry. I'm bending the tooth and nothing is flaking off, which is absolutely wonderful. So hopefully I'll be able to just get this all painted up, hang it up, and get that out of the way. Now, as far as the body goes, the vinyl dye took to it like butter. No issues with the vinyl dye adhering anywhere on this whatsoever. Everything took. There was no bubbles, no nothing. May go through a couple of spots just to maybe see if I can try and get a little bit extra in here, because like up here and there, I'm not too worried behind the eyes because those are going to be the red lights and everything. But then what I did is I went over just what I wanted for the white on the body itself, and I just did a light coat on it because I figured for the most part this is going to wind up being hand painted, like 90% of it. The 10% is just to get the base colors down, and since I was able to get the white on all of this, I should have no problem getting the getting either the Rathbone or what the hell was it called again? The Ion Rack Skin, this one, to take on this with less coats now. So I'm very happy with that. Now it's just going to be a matter of how do I want to do the carapace, what would be the carapace pieces, and then just figuring out like, the pink and for the underparts, the mouth, all that kind of stuff. So figured this would be at least a good update to show you. In theory, everything is going according to plan. We will see what happens with the next update. Okay, so I've done my airbrushing that I kind of wanted to do in regards to this. This is one half where I've already just kind of taken it off the back end of it, not the back end, the cover off of it to show off how the paint is. I mean, it's not bad, but also I realized, maybe I should have put the shell together for the back end of this, because this is the other side of the shell. This was the first attempt at doing the airbrushing, which honestly didn't come out that bad. I'm happy with this. I will say though, this side did come out a little bit more better with a little bit more color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the tape and everything off of this side, and I'm going to try and dry brush to match the back end of this one, because these sides don't really need to match, but I kind of want at least the ass end of it where it needs to be somewhat symmetrical. But yeah, that is, I wound up using the Pink Horror for this. I just felt it went a little better with things. And yeah, I mean, so far, like I said, I think it went well. I don't have a lot of experience with airbrushing, so it was a new experience. You know, did my best, and now we just got to kind of blend it together and see how it goes. I am also going to use the Pink Horror for this part of things, and I may wind up like dry brushing a little in the mouth just so, or maybe a little like in here or something. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I'm getting there. But yeah, so there's a paint update, and then we'll see where this goes shortly. Okay, so I've actually already started now on, where'd my paintbrush go? Oh, there it is, because I forgot I just cleaned it. Working on the, I guess you can say the chitin armor of the Tyranid portion of it, which will be the head, this upper ridge. I'm going to make it like this little back piece here, and then the grip in and of itself. I actually wound up making custom color for this. I used the Cantor Blue and a couple of drops of the Iron Warriors to kind of dull it out a little bit, but also to kind of give it a little bit of a sheen. Like, this is dry, but when the light hits it, it does have like a little bit of a nice gloss to it without actually being glossy. So I'm kind of liking where this is going. I just want to get the first coats on everything before I either A, run out of paint, or B, the paint dries up, because, you know, it was like 5 or 6 glops of this and like 2 or 3 glops of this. Like, it's kind of hard to measure when you're doing a custom color like that out of these things. So, but that's where it is. I figured I'd just give you a nice little quick update on that. So there you go. Okay, so here we're doing paint update, and obviously you can tell these are not my hands. These are Arlene's hands. Arlene came in for a bit of a small shop day, and she is helping out on the project by doing some dry brushing, because she's way better at it than I am. So she's going to be putting the Fenrisian Gray, which I just got all over my hands, the Fenrisian Gray on the chitin platen, which I'm like, you're better at dry brushing than me, so this will be a lot better if you try it than I do and screw up the custom paint that I made for it. So
I literally asked, did you write down the recipe? And he's like, I did a job of this. I'm like, nope, that's not what I'm asking. Okay, so I have one damn shot at this, because as soon as it goes on, it almost dries immediately.
Yes, so yeah, so here's a little update on this, and then I will show it off when it's completed, because then it's just going to be a matter of getting on the wraith bone to the body, and then clear coating and reassembly, and we're almost done with this. I mean, I want to do some weathering. I just haven't figured out how to do the weathering yet, but we'll come to that when it comes to that. So see you in a few. Okay, ignore the paintbrushes here, but I just wanted to highlight the dry brushing that Arlene did on the blaster, and I gotta say, this looks really good. Very impressed with it. Very happy I was able to get Arlene in for a shop day and have her help out on this project. I really like it. Looking forward to finishing this up. Basically, we're at the home stretch of this. I have to do the wraith bone on here. And here it is, because I'm glad I had a second one, because my first one's actually all solid. And this is still liquid, and I'll be doing like highlights of this Morghast bone on here. And then once that's done, I just have to see if I want to do a wash on it or if I might just clear coat as is and then be done with it. So, yeah. Let me get to that and then I will show you the update, before I put this all back together. And then, I don't know, we'll figure it out from there. So, see you in a moment. Okay, so unfortunately, I didn't record any of the additional painting that I said I was going to. And so we're basically complete at this point. A couple of things I will note of what I had done. I did do the wraith bone on the lower portion of the body, which is what I was which was the original goal. Anyway, I then took some of the Morghast bone and I just did a little bit of light, sort of kind of brushwork around the edge where I defined like the carapace connecting to the body. You can see a little better there. I also did one of the. I also used that pink wash. I already put it away, so I don't remember the name of it. But I kind of did that in the pink areas. The only thing I didn't do was on the mouth because I had already clear coated this, and it's also going to be constantly getting grabbed. So if Cam decides to use this and whatnot, so I didn't want to go overboard there. But yeah, this is all said and done, and I am really, really happy with how this came out. So let's just go to me standing and talking about this, and I will give you my final thoughts on this build. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Tyranid blaster, or Tyranid Lazerfang. And I have to say, honestly, I'm really happy with how this came out. My initial idea for this, again, came from Blinded by Daylight and their Tyranid build seen here. But overall, granted, it's not as detailed as that, but it really is what kind of drove my inspiration for, the theme behind this. And honestly, it really came out very nicely. The custom blue that I put for the armor or chitin on it really came out, I think, beautifully. The purple, or I don't know why I keep saying purple, the pink organics really looked good, and with like the different layers that I had put on it, and then that final wash, I think really kind of give it a good like kind of like feel, um, or it gives it that like you know. I don't know. It's hard for me to describe this thing because I'm just so happy with it. And it's hard to find the words to like make myself sound smart as I'm describing this thing. But especially thank you again to Arlene for while we were filming some stuff, uh, going in and doing this the brushwork on the armor bits. I really do appreciate it, and I know Cam will appreciate it as well, especially since both of our hands were involved in this one. Um, yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. The detailing, again, very happy with, and the fact that this is also still functional, which is what Cam asked for. I think this may be involved in another project down the line, but at least for now, he has a functional blaster that's all painted up and stuff. So very happy with it. I will just point out one little thing. When you do prime, it does have the black barrel. That was kind of intentional and slightly unintentional because I didn't want to rip the plunger apart trying to get the spring off of it. But at the same time, I didn't want to compress the spring down and try and keep it down, damaging the spring while I worked on this. Plus, I was afraid it was going to wind up scratching up the paint and then looking like bleh, and I didn't want that. So while it's on the wall, it looks great. Not to mention it'll also match the trigger. So there. I made it make sense. Haha. Um, but yeah, overall, very happy with how this came out, and I really hope Kim likes this as well. So that's going to be it for this video. And as always, if you enjoy the content we put here on the channel, please throw us a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this build. And I don't know, do you have any ideas for projects you may want to see me doing in the future? Let me know down in the comments below. I love reading them all. And oh, don't forget to click that little bell icon. Otherwise, you may not know when me and Arlene are doing our silliness here on the channel. Also, we still have the P.O. box going. And first video I get to announce this in. So if you're seeing this at a different point, haha, you know now I filmed things out of order. But we have patches, and patches are now for sale on containmentcrew.com. Link will be down in the description below if you are interested in getting one. So again, thank you again for joining me for this video, and I will see you guys next time. Later.